Howdy all, lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at the first solo in the Four Horsemen by Metallica. Let's take a look. Alright, let's take a look at the first section. I want to do 3 bends from 15 of the second string. The first 2 are just going to go straight up. And the third one's going to go up and back. It's going up and back, and then I pull off to 12 of that string. And then I'm going to play 15 as a regular note, and then as a bent note. So all together. Okay, then we go to 15 of the first string. I do a bend on that, and then I want to go 15, 12, 15, 14. Let's try the whole thing slowly from the top. Okay, then I work into this next phrase. So let's take that slowly. I want to play 7 of the first string, and then 10, 7 on the second. And then I want to jump down to 9 of the first string, and then play 7. So all together. Okay, so it's a bit sort of pentatonic at the moment. Then we've got a bit of a diatonic run here where I play 10, 9, 7 on the second string. Okay, then at the end of that I go 10, 9, 7 on the first string now. So it goes pretty much the same fingering twice. So all together of the new chunk. At the end of that, I add a little trill from 7 to 10, back to 7, a hammer-on into a pull-off rather, on the second string, 10, 7, 10. Then I do another trill exactly the same. So I do the hammer-on into a pull-off again, and then I want to play 9, 7, 6, 7, 6 on the third string. At the end of that, I want to play 7 of the fourth string, and then vibrato the crap out of 7 of the fifth string to get a bit of a gross kind of Kirky vibrato there. So we're going to go... Let's try the whole thing from the start, and then we'll do it again slowly with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, so what I do for the start of the second section, I want to slide from 7 to 9 on the third string, and then I've got a flat finger on 7 of the first 2 strings. So I'm playing the first and the second. I do 2 quick little strums, and then a third after a small break. So we go, I do the same thing again, and then I've got 2 strums there. Now the last one, I do a sort of a constant group of 3 there. So all together, it's a bit strange on the rhythm side. Then we've got... So in some ways, I guess, I think of this as a B minor pentatonic. I don't know why he's playing B minor over E, but sounds pretty cool. So what we're doing here is we're going... I'm playing 10th fret of the second string, bending it up, and then bend it back down into the pull-off. Okay, then from there, just working down that pentatonic, I'm playing 9, 7 on the third, and then 9 of the fourth. At the end of that, so what I'm doing here is I'm playing 7 of the third, and then bending the 9 up, and then back down again, and then pulling off to the 7th, so it goes. And then I want to jump to 9 of the fourth, sort of go. At the end of that, back to the 7th fret of the 3rd for a gentlemanly vibrato. So it'll go. Let's have a look at the whole section thus far. Okay, then we're working to this. Okay, so there's a bit of legato at the start, and then it's sort of just a bit of picking and some sliding. So the start of it, I'm doing a hammer-on into a pull-off. I'm going 7, 8, 7 on the 2nd string, then jumping to 9 of the 3rd, and then I want to go. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing 7, 8 on the 2nd string, and then 7 again with a hammer-on into a pull-off. So it's going 7, 8, 7 on that quick little trill there. So a slow hammer-on, pick, pick, then a quick hammer-on, and then we're jumping back to 9 of the 3rd string again. Okay, then I work into this. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing 7, 8, 10 on the 2nd, then I play 7, 8 on the 1st string. Now as soon as I hit that 8, I want to have a pretty quick pull-off on the 1st string. Okay, then I jump back up to 10 of the 2nd string, and then I want to play 7, 8 on the 1st. So it'll go. Let's take it from the start of this little chunk, and then we'll add the final slides and put it all together. Okay, then from there we just work through this. So what I'm doing there is I'm sliding from 8 to 10, 10 to 12, 12 to 14, 14 to 15, and then I just hit 15 again, and a bit of vibrato. Alright, let's take a look at the whole section relatively slowly, and then we'll do it again with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, so let's take a look at the 3rd section. I want to keep in mind that we're sort of doing the left speaker of this because the solo does pan, there's 2 things going on at once, and I thought the left one was the coolest. So we're going to have a look at from 17 of the 1st string. Nice big bend there. Being a bit of intonation trouble today. Anyway, and then we work into this. So it's pretty triplety. So I got those 2 bends on 17. And then I work into this. 15, 17, 15 on the 1st. Then 14, 15, 14. Then 12, 14, 12. Still on the same string. And then I go 10, 12, 10. 8, 10, 8. Then 7, 8, 7. Okay. And then from there we're going to keep working up around that shape. So let's slow this down. I'm playing 10 of the 2nd string and then 7 of the 1st. And then 8, 10, 8 on the 2nd. And then 7, 8, 7 on the 2nd. And then what I want to do here is I'm playing 9 of the 3rd and then jumping to 7 of the 2nd string and then back to 9 of the 3rd. So it'll go. At the end of that, I've just got 3 more notes. So there, I'm playing 7, 6 on the 3rd, and then 7 of the 4th. So it'll go. I'll do it stupidly slowly from the top, and then we'll move on to the next section. Hopefully that's making sense. Now the next bit that I'm working through is basically the E minor pentatonic without the E, the 6th string E there. So I'm just working through this in triplets. So that's pretty simple, all the way from the A string to the 1st string, and I'm going to end on 12 of the 1st. So we'll go through these triplets slowly. I want to start from 14 of the 5th, I'm going to play 14, 12, 14. And then from 12 of the 4th, I'm going to play 12 of the 4th, 14 of the 5th, and 12 of the 4th again. Okay, then we do a similar idea from the 4th string to the 3rd. So I go 14, 12, 14 on the 4th, 12 of the 3rd, 14 of the 4th, back to 12 of the 3rd, so back to back. And then just working up the pentatonics some more. 14, 12, 14 on the 3rd string, 12 of the 2nd, 14 of the 3rd, 12 of the 2nd. So in a way, we're just doing the same fingering 3 times. Just jumping down the strings. And then when we get to the B string, obviously the pentatonic shape will change slightly, so we need to just adjust something very slightly. So I'm just going to 15 now. So I'm going 15, 12, 15 on the 2nd string, and then to 12 of the 1st, 15 of the 2nd, back to 12 of the 1st. So all together. Okay, then I go. So I've got to pull, I'm not pulling off, I'm picking this all, aren't I? So I'm doing 15, and then I play 12 5 times. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're sort of working in triplets, and I do that group of 6 3 times in a row. At the end of that, I've got 2 bends on 15 of the 1st string. Alright, I want to try the whole thing from the start now, from the 17 bends. We'll work through it slowly, and then we'll do it again with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, so let's have a look at the 4th section. Keep in mind that we've just done 2 big bends at the end of section 3. The 4th's going to start off on 15 of the 1st string. Slight intonation issue, sorry for that. Going on 15 of the 1st string, up and back, and then I go to 12. And then I want to do a pull off from 15 to 12 on the 1st string, then jumping to 15 of the 2nd, and then back down to 12 of the 1st. So I go. Okay, then after that I want to do a pretty simple 6-note phrase 3 times. So what I'm doing there is I'm doing 2 pull-offs from 15 of the 1st string to 12, and then I want to jump to 15 of the 2nd, back down to 12 of the 1st. So from the start, I'll do it very slowly, and just keep in mind that this phrase is exactly the same thing 3 times. So from the start. Hopefully that's all making sense. Then after we've done the sort of the intro and the 3 6-note phrases, I want to do an 8-note phrase. And this one's slightly different. I'm doing a pull off from 15 to 12, 17 to 12, then 15 to 12 again on the 1st string. And then I want to jump to 15 of the 2nd string, and then back down to 12 of the 1st. Okay, and that little 8-note phrase we're going to play 2 times in a row. Okay, so let's take it solely from the start. Okay, and then at the end of that, I want to do just 2 quick pull-offs on 15 of the 1st string. And then after that, I just work down the pentatonic a little bit slower and I play all of the notes. So I'm not doing any more pull-offs, I'm plucking all of these. So I'm playing 15-12 on the 2nd, 14-12 on the 3rd, and 14-12 on the 4th. So let's go from the double pull-off. Okay, that's that little chunk, and there's one last little phrase here. Wanted to keep in mind, once again, working from the left pan of the solo, there's another thing going on at the same time, but I thought this one was the coolest. Alright, so we're working through this. Alright, so I'm starting off, slight slide in from, I guess, 7 to 9 on the 4th, and then I'll play 7 of the 3rd, and then I do 2 bends on 9 of the 3rd string. The first one is just up and the second one's up and down. Now when I bring the down bend down, I want to pull off to the 7th fret of the 3rd string. Okay, then at the end of that I'm going to play 9 of the 4th and then back to 7 of the 3rd. Then I go to this. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing 9 of the third and then 7/10 on the second. And then I'm going to play 8 of the second now. And then I'm going to do a hammer-on into a pull-off, 7/8/7 on the second string. So to go. At the end of that, I'm playing 7 of the third string and then 9 to 7 on the fourth. All together. Let's try it slowly from the top, and then we'll do it again with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the first solo in the Four Horsemen by Metallica. I'll be working on part 2 very soon, so stay tuned. See you guys soon.